All right, so continuing on with this live example of this affiliate site, which made me well in the six figures, and it's called Official Top 5 Review. Now, in the first video, in the first kind of part of this, what I'm going to make a series, I believe now, is, we talked about keywords and buyer intent, and the reason that I picked the type of keywords I did, and I gave you some really big hints for keywords that you can go after yourself. Now, before we cover other parts of this series, which I'm going to determine by your comments, what do you want me to cover, whether it's processes or, affiliate offers, whatever you want me to cover, how I did my content or my linking and all that stuff. I think we need to cover what happened to the site. That's one of the most important things, because people are going to come here and they're going to say, all right, well, you had a bunch of traffic and then you lost it. What happened, right? So I started the site here mid-2019, drove it up to 25,000 visitors per month. In April 2020, then bam, it got slammed, and it slowly dropped off where it's pretty much at nothing right now. I don't know if it's penalizing Google. We'll check it, and I'll show you how to check for that in just a second, and I'll talk about penalties in this video as well, because it kind of fits what we're talking about here. But this will be a really good lesson for SEO. So what happened to this website? Now, a lot of people would look at this and say, well, the site got penalized, right? There was a core update around here, and Google didn't like something your site was doing, and it got penalized. I don't actually believe that's the case, because I tracked what happened during this time. Now, when I first started this site, what I noticed was there was a lot of sites like this, like the one I built, so I kind of got the idea from other sites, of course, and I decided to build my own. I was like, you know what? I'm going to build my own, and I can make millions with that website. And I would have. I'd probably have made tens of millions if it never got hit. I ended up making close to 7 figures, but it ended up being worth it. But when I saw that it was working for other sites, I decided to start my own. Now, I got in a little late, obviously, and they kind of ended the trend. I'm going to talk about this trend they ended in just a second. But what I noticed when I did the searches was that when I was searching for certain product reviews, I kept seeing a lot of these review sites. So now I would do like, a product review or, like the top 5 tune-up software or the best tune-up software. I kept seeing consistency in these sites appearing that were like, just like official top 5 review type sites. And when I looked at their authority, I noticed they didn't have a ton of authority a lot of the time. Some of them did, but a lot of them didn't either. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to build out this site, and I can build up the authority to where these guys were. And this was a site that I actually built from scratch back then. So nowadays, I do more age domain, which I teach in my age domain course. I actually have a live over-the-shoulder series on GregMorrisMedia.com where I show you exactly every step of the way for that type of affiliate, which has made me billions. But this site was actually started from scratch. It's one of the last sites that I started from scratch with a brand new site. I probably should have done an age domain too, but I knew that I was going to be, putting a lot of work into it, and I just wanted to start fresh, and I was willing to put in the time for the linking and all that. So that's why I decided to start this site fresh. Now, the key thing I want to cover here is there was a trend change in Google at this time. Okay, so this drop wasn't necessarily because the site got penalized. It wasn't necessarily because Google didn't like what I was doing. It's Google shifted directions with authority. This is really, really important, because a lot of the times you'll see something like this. You'll see a site drop a ton in traffic and people think they got a penalty automatically, when really this site didn't have a penalty. Like, it got traffic for another year or so, like a good amount of traffic, nowhere near what it was. But the reason it dropped so hard was because Google changed the authority. Before this update hit, which I believe was like a March core update or an April core update, something like that, back in 2020. Before that hit, there was tons of sites ranking for terms like best PC tune-up software that had a few hundred referring domains or a couple thousand referring domains, right? Well, after this update, it shifted. Instead of being sites like official top 5 review that had a few hundred referring domains, if it was a review style site like that, it had tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, like top10.com or something along those lines. Or it was specifically about PC tune-up software or a big software site, right? So during this update right here, what Google did is they shifted more towards either you're going to be very specific on the topic as far as like having keyword in your domain, or the domain is specifically about that topic and will allow you to have lower referring domains and rank for that. or you got to have greater authority if you're going to be more general. So since my site's more general, it's just, a review site, well, I needed more authority because it's general. I'm covering all different topics. I'm covering software and gold and printers and like all different types of stuff. Anything you can think of, all different topics. There's no common theme. Because of that, I would need a whole lot more authority to keep up these rankings, right? So if we go to someone like, I believe the site's called top10.com. I don't know if that's it or not. Let's check it out. All right, so yeah, look, these guys, they got 6,700 referring names, but even that's not like enough, right? Some of these really big review sites have like hundreds of thousands. And you notice what happened with these guys. I mean, they're still getting, 50,000 plus visitors per month. The reason they're able to do that is because they have more authority. And also they're an older site with older links and all that. Like they've been around a lot longer. So let's go do a search. Let's go search for best PC tune-up software and let's see what shows up. And I haven't done this yet. Actually, before that, I want to do a check on this site. So let's go to Google. I haven't checked this, so I have no idea what we're about to find. And I don't think we have a spam penalty on Google. But here's how I figure that out. So I'll do official top5review.com. And we should be number one. We are. Now, I'll usually do this. I can cover this penalty check more in depth. Now, I'm appearing number one for this. Okay, let's see if I appear number one for my brand name. All right, I do. So what that tells me is that my site doesn't have like a spam penalty, right? It may have some type of other penalty at this point just because I've neglected it so long and it's kind of had some old style SEO to it. But it doesn't have a spam penalty because if it had a spam penalty, you wouldn't be allowed to rank anywhere on the first 3 pages as long as there's enough results to match, right? And you see if we go up here and we click tools, we see there's over 6.3 million results for this term. I'm number one, so I don't have a spam penalty. If you have a spam penalty, which is like the worst type of penalty you can get, you won't even be allowed to appear for that, right? Even your brand name, they won't show you for on the first 3 pages at least. So we don't have a spam penalty. That's one way you can check that. So let's go check how many pages are indexed. Because I have like 800 pages on the site. So let's go to tools. 238. So there's actually not that many indexed anymore. I could run a bunch of pages through an indexer and see if that helped it. But likely it wouldn't. I mean, again, I just have lower authority, 500 referring domains. I'm a very general site. I would need a lot more authority to make that site work. And, to put that amount of time and effort in, you're talking millions of dollars in investment with links and all that. And of course, if I went that route, I would make the site look way better. Like it's not a cheap looking site, but it's not like a super high class looking site, so to speak, right? But anyways, let's go look up best PC tune-up software, okay? Now, what I'm going to guess we're going to find, I haven't done the search yet, but what I'm going to guess we're going to find is either high authority sites that are just like typical review sites or somewhere along those lines, right? Doesn't have to be a review site, but it can be like a high authority gadget site, something like that. Or it's going to be like higher authority software sites or like PC specific sites, because Google shifted more that direction. They shifted more not only authority, but also topical as well. Now, the more you are away from the topic or that topical authority, the more authority you need in general. That's why sites like Forbes can rank for pretty much anything, because they have so much authority. So Google allows them to do so. But, if the more specific you are about a topic, like if you have PCTuneUpSoftware.com, you can rank for this likely with under 100 referring domains on the first page because you're very specific to that topic. And I talk about that in my fundamentals course on my site. So let's go search for this. I just want to see what we get. Let's see. All right, so let me pause this. I need to activate my Ahrefs plugin so we can see the data correctly. 1 second. All right, sorry, I was in the wrong browser, so I didn't have my data I needed. Now, if we go search for this, we can see that as we scroll down, let's see what we got number one. So number one, again, like I said, it's a PC style site with massive authority, right? So they have PC in their domain name, searching for something related to PC, and they have 334,000 referring domains. Good luck competing with that, okay? Especially the way that Google is now. Let's go to number two, also PC Mag, same site. They got 2 of the top listings, so they're number one and number 2. Number 3 is Microsoft.com, so more of a general site, kind of in the PC niche, but they have 4.6 million referring domains. Let's go to number 4, Reddit. Google just loves Reddit now. 2.6 million referring domains, massive authority. TechRadar. TechRadar is more of a general kind of gadget type site or general text type site with massive authority, 175,000 referring domains. So let's keep going down. Look at this, Tom's Guide. So this is one of the big review style sites that does really well, is Tom's Guide. And you can see he has 82,000 referring domains. More of a site like mine, but 82,000 referring domains, or what's that, 164 times the amount of links that I have, which is a lot. And you got tomshardware.com, 87,000, right? So what you see is massive authority. AVG, which is specifically a PC cleaner tune-up thing, 93,000. And then pctuneup.komodo.com, 50,000 referring domains. So what we saw there was a whole bunch of terms that, or a whole bunch of sites that have massive authority and are also kind of in the PC niche or gadget niche, right, or technology niche. So let's go back and let's do another one that I know is not going to be as competitive. So I think it was like World History Books. Let's go check it though. So let's go to my best, and let's go to World History Books. Let's go to Best World History Books. Now, what I'm expecting to see here is the same kind of style, right, or the same kind of results, but less authority likely. It's probably going to be more sites that are about books or history in general, or massive authority that kind of is more general. So let's look it up. Best World History Books. I'd be surprised not to see Amazon in here. So let's go check it out. So look at this. Number 1 is Reddit, massive authority, 2.6 million referring domains. Reddit's been crushing it on Google because Google just absolutely loves Reddit. Now, I think they did a deal with them or something, if I'm not mistaken. So look at this. Number 2, 5books.com. Like I said, a book-related site, and they also have authority, 10,000 referring domains. So let's scroll down here. Goodreads.com, massive authority site for reading, right? Goodreads, 730,000 referring domains. Let's go to the next one. Quora, massive authority, about 500,000 referring domains. We got Blinkist.com, 10,000 referring domains. I don't know what they are. Probably like a book type thing. I don't know. Penguin Random House, 157,000 referring domains. So again, just massive authority there. Barnes & Noble's huge, book style store, 350,000 referring domains. Audible.com, huge authority, 120,000 referring domains. Blinkist again, 10,000, and then quarter to 3, 6,200. So even those right there, pretty high authority, right? Not as high we saw in the first one, but more than I expected for sure. But you notice the same trend there. Now what we're seeing is mostly like book reading sites, like book sites. I don't think we saw any history sites, which I'm kind of surprised. But what we noticed here was either massive authority or a book-related themed site with authority on top of that. So that explains why in 2019, 2020, I could actually rank for this term somewhat easily with officialtop5review.com. Now, with them switching more towards this more theming with authority together, you need a lot more authority to rank for something like that. So let's go to tomsguide.com. And he had 82,000 referring domains. Well, he has 50,000 in here. And look, he's ranking for 12.8 million. So with the amount of authority he has, 50,000 referring domains, which is, well over 100 times the amount of the power that I have, he's able to rank for this type of stuff because he just has a lot more power. He also has been around a whole lot longer. He has a lot of links that are around a long, long time. I've talked about it before. I believe age of links matters a lot. And he has some really, really old, really, really good links, really high authority stuff. All right, so that's Tom's Guide, which is, gets away with it because he has massive authority. That's part of it. All right, he also probably has, other great metrics on his site, which helps him stay there. But this is more about why he's there. So let's look at let's see. A lot of these are, I know, are going to be more competitive. Let's go to Best Press Release Service. So what I'm expecting here is maybe marketing style sites with authority, that type of thing. Let's go look it up. Best Press Release Service. So number 1 is prrally.com, 10,000 referring domains. So I don't know what that site is. Prowly.com. I don't know what that is. And then you got Reddit, massive authority. PR Newswire. It's a press release site, right? With 500,000 referring domains. A lot of us have heard of PR Newswire. Content Grip. Okay, Content Grip, only 1,200 referring domains. But what's Content Grip? What's content? It's press releases, right? Very closely related topic, so they can rank here with lower authority compared to who the other guys on the first page. G2.com, they just have massive authority. I don't know what that is, but 82,000. IssueWire, that's a press release service, 12,000. You got Baden Bauer, 667. I don't know who that is. He's a PR agency. So he's not themed at the domain level or keyword level, but likely his links are all themed for press releases, right? He probably has a lot of press release related links, which themes his site for press releases, which is why he's allowed to get on the first page with only 667 compared to the rest of the competition, which is pretty low. Here you go, eReleases, which is a press release service, 8,200. But again, what do you notice here? It's mostly press release style sites that are ranking. Before that update hit, this wasn't happening before. They weren't theming things together like that. They official top 5 review could get on the first page with 500 referring domains if you got the right type of links to that page that's ranking, right? So that's what I wanted to show you, which is one of the main things that's changed since that time back then. You need a more, unless you're willing to build massive authority, you need a more themed website about one topic as a little guy, because it takes a lot of work and effort and money to build up authority for any type of website, especially when you're starting fresh. So let's do another one. Let's go. I know all those are going to be really competitive. So let's go to page 4, maybe skip around some. Here we go. How about best gun safes, right? So let's go to best gun safes. So for this, again, what I expect is high authority that doesn't have. Now, the more authority they have, likely, or the less they are, the less the site has to do about the topic, likely the more authority they're going to have. The closer they are to the topic, the less authority they're likely going to have, right? That's just how it's going to work. Now, if they have massive authority plus they're on topic, they're going to be very high up. Okay, so that's what we'll see again. So let's go to best gun safe. I expect to see a good amount of gun sites as well, or safe sites. All right, so look at this. PewPewTactical.com. Tactical, very closely related to safes, right? Tactical stuff, guns, safes, ammo, all that type of stuff. 10,000 referring domains. Not surprising, they're number 1. Let's see, number 2. 1911 Addict. So 1911 Firearm Addict. So again, firearms, very closely related to safes. Only 1,400 referring domains. How are they able to do this? Because they're specifically themed for firearms, which is very closely related to safes. Look at this. Number 3, gunsafes.com, 2,300 referring domains. Notice how lower the referring domains are here, because we have more themed sites ranking up top. Let's go to number 4, northwestfirearms.com. So we're seeing a lot of gun sites, like I said, right? We're looking for a gun safe. Well, these are gun sites. Firearms, 3,200 referring domains. So those are both sponsored. Then you got Reddit, which we're seeing a lot. SecureItGunStorage.com, 988, right? One topic. It's a topical website. Scroll down again. Smith Wesson Forum. Smith Wesson is obviously a type of gun, 3,300. Rockslide, I don't know what they are. They're probably a gun safe company, would be my guess. And then you got YouTube. So again, the same theme is repeating here of topical, right? Google looks for more topical stuff. If you're not topical, you need a whole bunch of authority. You know, like for example, if you go search for gold IRA, well, up top, you're not going to see a site about a gold IRA specifically, or even precious metals, but it is about investing, which has to do with gold IRAs. And then on top of that, they have 500,000 referring domains. So that's how Google kind of mixes things together now. So I know that people are going to ask, like, well, what happened to that site? Why did you get penalized? I don't think it was necessarily I got penalized. It was that the traffic dropped so much and I saw the trend change that I knew that at this point I would need to build like so many more referring domains and put I would have had to put thousands of hours into the site, probably tens of thousands of hours, and likely millions of dollars. And I would have had to, if I was going to do that, take the site a lot more seriously and be more like Tom'sGuide.com. Like they have like pristine website design and reviews and all that. Like they have a fantastic site. In order for me to do that, it would have had to be like my full-time job, and I would have needed to do, hire a whole team, and I just wasn't something I was interested in doing. So at that point, I knew, and look at this. Look how clean they are, right? Very good information, clean quotes, very well laid out, just a very clean site. They've been around forever. So I knew once this traffic dropped off why the website was losing traffic, and I wasn't willing to do what it took to build it back up because that was too much work for what I was going to get back. I can just build out sites that are more niche specific and make money that way, which is when I actually geared more towards precious metals again, which I'm still in. So that's kind of an overview on this site right here and what happened to it, because I know that question is going to come. Well, why did the site get hit? It didn't really get hit necessarily back here. It more just there was a trend change. Google started looking more at topical, and they were able to start piecing together topical authority more, and they started using it more, and that's what happened. And then from here, it might have got penalized now that it's getting noted. Let's see, are we even ranking for anything? I want to see where we are ranking. 200 keywords. And it's saying it's lost in 2023. So yeah, it might have got penalized at like some type of penalty, because I haven't worked on this site in 5 years now, close to. So it could have something to do with just no new content, or just old content. It wasn't the greatest content. There could be a lot of problems that went on. This is a 5-year-old SEO site. But the main thing that happened was that there was a trend change. Traffic dropped off. I stopped working on it the last 5 years, and it died off. Now, it does still rank in Bing, so it still makes me a little bit of money, but for the most part, I don't really use this site anymore. All right. But that's kind of like the SEO lesson for Official Top 5 Review. Extremely important to understand. If you want to know anything else about this site, like how I do my linking or my content or my processes or any questions you have, comment below and I'll make sure I shoot a video on it, and it'll be an ongoing series as long as you guys have questions on the website. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.